So let's move on to the next type of transposition cipher. This is the hybrid transposition cipher. So hybrid transposition cipher, it is not a new or a different algorithm, but it is the combinations of the keyless transposition cipher and the key transposition cipher. So there is no confusion. I think we have already learned regarding the keyless transposition cipher and the key transposition cipher. So we'll combine the concept of those two transposition cipher and move on to this hybrid transposition cipher here. For example, I want to send a particular message from A to this particular B. Then I have to encrypt this particular plain text, and then I have to send through an untrusted channel, and maybe an untrusted channel here. I have to send through an untrusted channel, and then that particular message should be delivered to B. So in this case, why actually we are doing is that performing encryption is that a third party that is residing somewhere else is continuously decoying on this particular network to retrieve the informations or to modify. Means in short, they want to perform the active and the passive attacks on this particular messages. So in order to refrain from this, in order to stop, or in order to protect our messages, means in order to provide CIA threats to this particular message, so we must do some kind of modifications or the transformations here. So that is what we are doing, the encryptions here. So why we are going to the hybrid transposition cipher is that although the transposition cipher that we have learned earlier, the first one is the keyless transposition cipher, even though it may look very good for encryption, and even if the third party could not trace back the informations here. So nowadays there are so many intelligence unauthorized party or hackers. They might get the patterns, they might get or retrieve the plain text easily. Therefore we are going for again the key transposition cipher here. So the drawback of the keyless transposition cipher, we have some drawbacks. So we are moving to the key transposition ciphers here. So once the key transposition cipher also, once the pattern analysis is done by the third party or the traffic analysis is done by the third party, they will actually know the patterns or how actually the permutations are done. So, means they will get hold of the given arrangement of the key and they can retrieve the information here. Since nowadays the hackers or the attackers are very intelligent, they can retrieve the plain text easily. Therefore we are next moving to the hybrid transposition ciphers. I am not saying that this hybrid transposition cipher is very the strength of the hybrid transposition cipher is very good. I'm not telling in such cases there may be drawbacks here for the hybrid transposition cipher. That is why we are still moving on to the next generations of the encryption techniques here. But these are very old kind of encryption techniques. We also call them as a conventional encryption techniques here. We are not using such kind of encryptions nowadays. But in order to go to the modern encryption technique, you have to learn about these different types of encryption techniques here. So since there are already drawbacks in keyless and the key transposition cipher, so we are just arranging them. We are just combining both the techniques, and we are trying to generate a more strength in the encryption technique here. So whether we can get a more strength in the encryption technique, it depends upon how we perform it and how intelligent the third party or unauthorized ones here. So in this particular examples, I want to send this particular plain text here. So what actually we do, I first of all perform the keyless transposition cipher. The keyless transposition cipher means I write them in row wise, and then I read them in I write them in this one row wise. Okay, so this one concept, this is the writing in row wise. This concept is taken from the keyless transposition cipher here. Once I write them, then now I use the key transposition cipher here. I use the key transposition cipher, this particular key, and then this downward directions for encryption, and then for that particular groups here, I use this same technique what I have used in the key transposition cipher and arrange them here. Okay, arrange them here. After writing each and every word for this first, second, third, and fourth row here. Now again I use the concept of keyless transposition cipher, and I read them column wise here, writing them row wise here, reading them column wise. After what? After the key transposition cipher here. After the key transposition cipher, again I'm reading them in column wise here. So this looks like a different message here. So if you read this one, it makes the third party unrecognizable. This they cannot, means by looking at a glance at this particular message here, it doesn't make any sense, right now. So doesn't make any sense. So means actually that particular message is scrambled here. So that particular message reaches through that particular network at the destination part. Again, they have to do the reverse method here. They have to do the reverse method. I read them column wise, so I should write them column wise here. Okay, read them here, I write them column wise. I write them column wise and then perform here is the writing and reading in column wise and row wise are the concept of keyless transpositions here. Next, I use the reverse directions for decryption part, and then I arrange them into this particular box here. Okay, and then from this particular box I read them in row wise. Here writing in row wise, here I am reading in row wise here. After that I get the particular plain text here. Okay. Get the particular plain text. So this is how the hybrid transformation is used between the sender and the receiving part here, between the sending and the receiving part. So why I have already told you why actually we are using both the transposition cipher is that there may be some loopholes in the keyless transposition cipher, and again there may be some loopholes in the key transposition cipher, but at that time they are again checking whether the combinations of these two will generate more strength than both of them individually, right? Then their individual transformations here. So these combinations will obviously produce more strength, and then the scrambled text will be more diffused here. Okay, means the third party cannot recognize it easily. Okay, so this part is the sending part. You must know how actually this hybrid transformation is performed, and again this is the receiving part. You must know how actually the hybrid transformation or the hybrid decryption part is done here. The only thing is that I should retrieve the original information that is at the sending side. It should be exactly the same as the receive at the destination part here. Okay, destination part here. So you must know how actually this hybrid transformation is done. It is not restricted that I'm using this in this manner. You can use in any kind of combinations here, any kind of combinations of keyless and the key transposition cipher. But the only thing is that when you retrieve it, that particular message should be retrieved exactly at the destination part here. But the combinations, whether you use this method or another method, it is not restricted to that part. There is no hard and fast algorithms for that one. It means you are asked to use only the combinations of keyless and the key transformations, and then at the retrieving part, that particular operations must be done, and then you must retrieve the 100% exact message that is sent by the sending part here. That is the only thing you must know. So by this we have end of the unit 2. So next we will be moving towards the unit 3 here. Okay, the block ciphers.